Hey guys, hope you're doing well and great. Alright, in this content for today, I'm going to be sharing you ways to expand your source of revenue from your restaurant business. So if you are already operating a restaurant and you have a space, then there is a lot of way you can monetize this, right? So watch the entire video because I'm going to be sharing you points where you will be able to monetize or expand the source of your restaurant income. Alright guys, so let's get into the content for today. So number one, you gotta fix your online ordering, right? That's what the main thing. So if you have a website, if you have an app, just make sure that you have this information in your website, which is about the offers that you are providing. Don't be just like, okay, I have an established restaurant and I don't have to promote any product or some sorts of offer codes or something like that, right? Coupon codes or things like that. It's a ongoing business. Restaurant is always ongoing business. There is always changing the menu, changing the product, changing the price. So what you have to understand is that you gotta let the customer know about it. So you have to make sure that you're entertaining your customer at least 20 to 30% to take part in the online order, especially for takeout and delivery. So you probably will be doing sorts of online ordering with a third party. That's great, that's good, right? But then what happens is that when you are using the third party ordering system, you are paying a lot of percentage on the service fees, right? About like a 30 to 25 probably. So if you do online ordering system where you are offering about like a 10% to 15% discount to the customer and you're asking them to come and pick up the food, you are still making the profit, and at the same time you are introducing your product to new customer, or not necessarily new customer, with the existing customer, but at the end you have more features on there so that they can come and purchase whatever the new items that you have, whatever the new offers that you have. Let them also have the transactions with you guys. That's what we're looking for, right? So in one way, now also if you are doing a delivery system, right? Delivery system is really good, but if you're using a third party already, you don't have to use your own. But here's a good thing: if you have overstaff, right, and there is a specific hour during the day that you do not actually want to use a third party and you're not busy at all, so the point of time what you can use is, let's say from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. you're not busy, right? So put something like that in your website saying that if the customer are ordering through online and you're going to be using your guys as a delivery, probably the customer don't even have to pay for all those things. You can just charge about like a $3 to $5 for delivery within 5 miles, something like that. You can always take advantage of the website platform or the app that you guys have it, right? So that's number one. Focus again on how you redesign or how you systematize your website as well as the online delivery platform. Now the second part is catering. Catering is really important, guys. So if you are operating a business as a brick and mortar, that means that you have locations, you have your own restaurant, right? It doesn't matter big or small. You can always approach the event organizers or people who work in a corporate, talk to their HR or one of the lead guy, right? Ask them if they can help you out on catering whatever the food that you are providing from your restaurant, right? So that's a very good way. You can actually build a really good account and income from those kind of additional source of transactions. Basically what happens is that when you try to cater about a 15 to 20 a month, it just make a lot of big difference, so that's what you have to understand. So do not just hold on and say that, oh, okay, probably maybe my whatever the products that I'm selling may not fit. Nobody knows, right, until you try. So always create your catering menu and give it to a lot of people, right? At the same time, if you see people who are looking for some sort of side income or something like that, it's very easy. Just give them your catering menu and say, if you can find me a client, I'll give you a 10-15% commission, and if you sell it and if the transaction pass, once I receive the funds, I'll give it a 10-15% commission. So you ultimately create some sorts of a job opportunity. At the same time, it's going to be a commission basis, so there is no overhead for getting somebody to sell your product as a catering or as a catering service. And on top of that, you don't even have to get an additional license because you already have your business license. So if you're in a food truck business or if you're in a a brick and mortar business already licensed by the state or the city, you can always take part in all those, event and catering. So you don't necessarily have to go into the site and serve the food. That event managers can do it. So what you have to do is just deliver the food. That's it, right? So at least you have the second options to monetize your product or your business. So the first one is online ordering, right? The second one is the catering. So now we're going to be talking about the third one, which is the meal kit. So now you'll be wondering, what is a meal kit, right? Meal kit is not necessarily that you have to provide more than 100 or thousands of something like that. No, you don't have to. Think about it in this way. There are people who like your food, right? And sometimes your business hour is like, let's say from 8 to 8, or say it closed after like 5 or 10, whatever, right? But there are people who like your food, right? So why don't you sell something which is pre-packed by you, right? And then they can store those food at their place and then prepare those whenever they want it. It's just going to be the same ingredients. You just have what you have to do is share them step-by-step instructions on how to cook and prepare, because at the end it's not necessarily that they have to buy the finished product from your place, but then they can create their own product using your own ingredients. So the only thing is that just create instructions on how to prepare. At the end, they're gonna be having your own food, your brand food or your restaurant food or your whatever that you sell at the same time with their own convenience, right? So there is a really good opportunity to look into in a way that how can you create your menu in a meal pack or meal box, right? So that people can take home and prepare whenever they can, right? So if you have like a pre-packed food and you just have to assemble it, just pack that way. Tell them, hey, you gotta be keeping these things in this particular temperature and the shelf life is from 3 to 4 days or whatever, right? Just tell them, make sure that they are aware of it and sell it to them, right? This way you're gonna be saving a lot of in your labor costs in one way. So that's the third thing, right? So meal kit is really important as well. Now the fourth thing is that you can also merchandise your product, right? So what do you mean by like merchandise product, right? So probably you can create a t-shirt, hat, or some sort of a wristband, or let's say a keychain, right? You can get all those things in a cheap price, maybe not even $2 per product from Alibaba, or maybe there's a wholesaler who will be able to do that for you, right? So this will help you out to spread your brand, spread your business details to the entire crowd, because they will be carrying these things everywhere, right? So this is a good way to do a brand marketing as well. So you can use all these kind of little assets to expose or say build your brand in the market, right? So in this way you will be able to monetize in some way or the other, right? You can also have a coffee cup or so the coffee mugs, all those stuff. You can always sell it. So recently what we did was the business was a little bit slow and we did the same thing. What happened was we actually sold like half of it, right? So it doesn't make a good amount, but at the end it engaged people. So people who comes to buy the cup or the branded t-shirt or the hat or something like that, they end up buying 1 or 2 products from the restaurant. So that's really good, right? So that's the alternate way how you can monetize your business operating as a restaurant. So not only that, let's say you have your own spices, your secret ingredients and all those things, pre-pack it, right? Let's say you have your sauces, like you can just purchase a little cup, maybe like a 3-ounce, 4-ounce cup, and then you buy that little stickers from Home Depot, Office Depot, and print out those labels and stick that on the lid, right? You can always sell those sauces on the side as well. So that's another way to monetize whatever the product that you have it, right? Those are like a retail products, as well as you can create a merchandise product using your brand name, right? And now the fifth one is subscription service. So subscription service is really good. Recently I just got one guy who really liked our food, right? So what we did was, if he is going to be coming in every day for the next 5 days, I wouldn't mind like just to cut, let's say give a $1 or $2 discount because he's buying every day. Now what happened is that because I'm giving him a couple of dollar discount on the product that he purchased every day, he got another guy, so the other guy wants the same offer, so why not, right? So in that way I'm able to kind of create a subscription model here it's not actually a subscription business that I want to deal with them, but you can create this system, right? So if when somebody subscribes to your product or to your business, right, what you do is that just give them a 5%, 10% discount. That matters a lot when they buy in bulk, or say if they are purchased like about 20 times in a month, it saves them a lot, at least $20 to $30. That helps them a lot. So this the other way, like, people think about it. Okay, if I'm a subscriber for this particular restaurant, right? So if I'm going to purchase the same thing, which I used to, and I know the product, right? Then I know it. I just want to save a little couple of dollars here and there. Why not? I just go and buy. At least I'll get some discount. You do not know who has a bad day, who has a short day, and who has a dry day, right? So just try to think in this way, that at the lowest point, are you able to help somebody? Probably you can, right? So create a subscriptions platform as well, so that you can help growing your business as well as supporting other people as well. It's kind of a mutual benefits grow in both ways. So now that's the 5th point. So the 6th point, we're going to be talking about the cooking class. So now in YouTube or any online training classes is going on a lot, right? So what you can do is you can always host a cooking class. Let's say on every Monday, your business is slow from 3 to 5 or whatever, right? Now you can do a webinar. If people likes it, you can just ask them to join, say monthly subscriptions, about like $100, $150, and the session is going to be for an hour, and you're going to conduct no more than like 10 people, 15 people all around the world. So when you do this online course, people want to really learn from every part of the world, right? So instead of going to the college and culinary college school, people can learn directly from you, because you're the restaurant owner, you're the chef, you're the operator, and you know a lot of things about the business. So at the point of time, people really want to learn from the guy who does and who's doing it, right? So in this way, you can also create as a little kind of a source of income for your business, right? So teach people how to do things, and people will, of course, if they know it, they want to show off, and they will, of course, learn from you. So that's a good way, right? So number 7 is a pop-up events. So if you see, like, you gotta check all around all the time, like what's the event happening in your city or town or states, right? If it's not that far, you should take part in those events. So most of the events will ask you for like a down payments, like some 500, 1,000 for a little spot. That's okay. Think about it. What are the product that you will be able to sell fast, right? If you can sell, like, say 4,000, 5,000 a day, that's really good. If you invest like a 500 to, let's say, to the max of 500, right? So for a food truck, usually it's about like a 200 to 500. And it depends, right, what kind of events is there, and how many crowds do we expect in that area or that event, right? So if you're going for like a festival, carnivals, or a big events, and it's a long hour events, or say more than like a 2 days, 3 days events, you gotta make a lot of money out of those kind of events, because it's a very restricted area, and you're the only one, or maybe you're the only kind of a food that is serving in that particular event. So that's the real good way to also monetize your food or your business, right? And people also will recognize your brand. Some people will know your brand, or some people will know your product. So you got to take advantage of this pop-up events, right? So that's the number 7. Number 8 is so you can always go to the private events and market your venue. So if you have a big space at your restaurant, right? Don't let it go like that without making the money, right? Consider in this way that you're a realtor and you try to monetize that space as well. So when you know that Monday, Tuesday, or any of the day of the week, that whatever the day is slow, just put that particular slot, 2 hour, 3 hour, on your website, right? Tell people that, hey, if you are going to do an event, I'm going to give you this particular space on this particular date and this particular hour for free. But here's what's going to happen is that whatever the food catering things, the beverage catering, I'll take care of it, and I want to sell my products to you guys. And whatever that you need that I do not have in my restaurant, probably they may be able to bring in, but you want to be the one who cater all their food in your place when you give them a space for free, right? So that's the other way to kind of host an events. At the same time, you're trying to give them a free, but if they're like 15 to 20, or let's say 50 to 50 people, you can make good money out of those events, right? Because at the end, people are coming in for free anyway in your restaurants if you do have to operate, so you're still selling to them. So in this case, 50 to 60 people are coming in, and they are letting you know at least a week ahead of time that they're going to be coming to your place, and the event space is free. So of course that event cost, the rental cost, right, probably they might would just put into your food. So that's a good way to make the money out of, you know, your space, right? So that's some sort of a private events or some sort of a corporate events that you can always host in your location. That's number 8. So number 9 is the collaborations and partnerships. So this is really, really important, guys. You gotta have to know this, because the world is, you know, networking in a very vast way, kind of a very vast way, very fast way, or whatever that the term that you want to use, because it's expanding a lot. If you do not network with people, you will reach nowhere. So that's a simple way, right? So now you see there's a lot of gyms and workout, or a lot of things going on around you in your city and in your area. So for example, let's say people are in the gym, they have a trainer. The trainer has a diet, sorts of a, you know, plan for those trainees. So why not you talk to the gym owner or to the trainers and say that, hey, you know, how about me delivering this food, preparing those meal for this guy, and if this guy is in their students, the trainees are willing to, you know, buy the food, then you take them into the subscriptions where you give them a discount. So at the end, whatever the discounts that you want to give it to them, you can give it to the trainees, which means the students. But for the trainers or for the gym owner, you can give them a 5 or, you know, 2% sorts of a commissions. I mean, if they can bring in the money, just increase the whatever the commission rate that you want to exchange with them. So that's a kind of a basic collaborations and a partnership that you can also do with the gym, because most of the fitness places, they always look for a kind of, you know, healthy food and nutrient food, or food that is according to the what do you call it, the planners has designed for that particular person, right? So you can be part of those things. So try thinking about how you can collaborate with those people, and at the same time provide the food to the students or to the trainee, and also you monetize those transactions. In exchange, you offer a commission to these the trainers or the gym owner. So that's number 9. All right, number 10 is the loyalty program. So that's very, very important. You know, when we have this loyalty program, people are giving you the contact information, the phone number or the email. So this is one of the things that you can directly market to your existing customer, because they know your product already. They want to buy your product already. And whenever you have the new offer, like a price reduce, or, you know, combo offer, or a new menu, new products, they are the direct marketing channels, you know. So you have to utilize all this resource by creating the loyalty program. And here's one of the good thing about the POS system nowadays, is that they have this loyalty program system integrated within their POS. So once the customer come in, automatically, let's say they put their email, sorry, the phone number, right? Once they put the phone number, they get a $2, $3, whatever the percentage discounts. And also not only the discount, that points accumulated for them, right? So down the line, when they purchase like a 50 times or 60 times, whatever the times that they do, at one point of time, whenever you set the cap, they will be able to reimburse all those things, you know. So that's a very good way for the customers to engage and use those points to buy your product again, right? Basically, you're asking them to come back and buy the product, and you are just letting them, you know, stay with you most of the time, right? So that's a good way to create a loyalty program. And there's a lot of other things that comes up with the loyalty program, but I want you to think out of the box as well. Just not listen to what I'm saying all the time, but also do your homework. There's a lot of way, because my understanding, your understanding, the way I see, where I am, probably may not be where you are, right? So your environment will be a little bit different. So you got to also have your, you know, homework done. That's what I want to actually share with you. So number 11 is upsell and add-on products. So you already have your website, your app. Guys, do not forget this. This is really a game changer, right? So recently what we did was we have one product, right? In this product, it has ingredients, has a price, that's it. So now what if the customer wants to buy a soda, right? A bottle of water, or maybe some sort of a side or snacks or something like that, right? We want to figure it out, just redesign a little bit here and there on the product page. So let's say if the customer comes to buy this particular product, make sure that at the bottom of that particular product, right, you have few options that goes along with that product. That could be a soda, that could be a water, that could be a smoothie, that could be ice cream, that could be a candy or whatever, right? Let the customer pick that options in one page. So what happened here is that you are upselling those products ultimately, right? The customer probably maybe just don't want to buy the burger. They might would need the fries, they might would need a soda, they might would need a sauce. So instead of letting the customer go back to the previous page, just add on everything within the same page, so that the customer not only buy the product, the burger, but at the same time they have the options within the same page, within just the same description, right? The options to select whether they want a large or small size of the soda or the fries, right? So that's the really, really good way to upsell your product, because that will increase the transaction value. That's what we are looking for, right? So if your burger is about like a $9, right? So increasing, or so adding on those products, the sauces, the fries, and the soda, can go up to about like a 25 to 30% basically. So that means that if your product, if you add on those modifiers in your page, what happens is that instead of buying only $9 the customer will be able to end up buying $14 to $15 product per transactions from your website. So that's a kind of a really, really good features modifier, which most of the POS does use in this day. Not necessarily POS, but the third-party app, they use this thing. So if you have totally 100% control on your website. So use those options. Do not get away of these things, because it is kind of a snowball game down the line. Once you have all these things, assets build up in your account, people will know it. It will be much easier for them to access, because think about this, always convenience is what the game is about, right? If you can provide more convenience and instant purchase, people will, of course, will buy it, pick it up. That means that your transactions value will go high. So that means that per person, per visit, if it's a $10, it can go up to 15 to 20 to more than that, right? So they take the opportunity that way. So now here's the last one, the 12 points, right? Feedback. That's backbone of the business, basically. So why do you have to get a feedback, right? The only reason why you have to get a feedback, to make sure that people understand what you're serving. People are able to tell you, like, what they want and what they don't want to do. So you're in locations where people want this and that, but if you are not providing this and that, what's the use of you running a business over there, right? I'm not asking you to change the entire menu, but then create some sorts of alternate options for the customer, because that's the way. Say, for example, recently we have opened the stores, right? And then many people were kind of like, oh man, the ambience is not good because there is no music, there is no TV, no nothing, right? I understand that it's just a startup, right? So we put up speakers, we put up a TV, we have about like a 5 TV now. But it's a dining, there's no dining, right? It's a takeout and it's a delivery, so people can sit and enjoy at least for 5-10 minutes while we prepare their food, right? So that's a good way. So understand people feedback, right? Take the people feedback, because people will tell you feedback. You will know that if it's for growth or not, right? But then if you find that it's a new idea for growth, then it's a very good chance to implement it, because instead of you trying to take the blunt shot, just go ahead with somebody's advice, because the advice is not going to be the same all the time. There will be more than 100 people who are talking about the same thing. So if you can just make the change in your business, you will of course grow. And because you have to make the changes, people will know that you understand and you listen, and they will of course support you. All right, guys, I hope this content was helpful for you. And if you find all the lists that I have mentioned to you is helpful for you, please feel free to share me whatever you think about it. Just give me feedback in the comments, and if you know somebody, your friends, your folks who would be interested in this kind of content, please do feel free to share this content to them. All right, until the next content, see you guys, take it easy, cheers.